All right, so for every purchase of a property that is not cash, you will have to work with a mortgage. The mortgage itself is actually just the principal and interest. The taxes and insurance are actually a part of the escrow account. For a lot of people out there, this is going to be pretty basic information, but this is so foundational for people that need to understand what it's like to purchase a property and what they're actually getting into. All right, so here's an example of what a typical mortgage statement looks like. I have my mortgage statement through Megastar Financial, and this is what it looks like when I sign up for the e-documents and not have it mailed to me, which I like it more instant if you ask me. So we have the principal, the interest, the taxes and insurance. So principal and interest are going to be tied into how much the loan amount is. So the principal in this case is $1,013.81. That amount is actually going from your bank account to the house, and it's going into building the equity of the house. And so every month I'm paying about $1,013 from my mortgage, and it goes directly into the house. And this is illiquid, which means I'm not able to pull it out. It's not exactly cash. It's just there, right? It's just there inside the house. So the total loan amount is $558,195. So that means that is the specific loan amount. And there's a portion of that loan that's tied towards the principal. So the principal is going towards paying down that loan. And a portion of it is also the interest, and it goes above what the outstanding principal is. So the interest that you see here, the $1,453.63, is actually going straight to the bank. And what that is like, it's sort of a thank you to the borrower or to the lender saying, hey, thanks so much for letting me borrow $558,000. Here's a sort of repayment that is extra past the principal. Because they want to make some money off of the money that they lend out to me as a borrower. Something that I do want to mention here is that with the principal and interest, there are some lenders out there that kind of want to hide all of the details with what your mortgage might be. So the principal and interest is directly what the lender is going to be telling you when you look at the property, when you start to see what the monthly mortgage is going to be. So I want to make sure that you're very careful with what you're seeing from the lender's perspective of, yeah, your mortgage or your total amount, let's say in my case, like Mike Stone, I trust him and I like working with him, but this is not what he did, but this is what certain lenders do, is your monthly payment is going to be $2,466. And you're like, whoa, that is actually much lower than what I expected, especially for a $720,000 place, which is the mortgage statement for this certain property. So with that amount of $2,460-ish, I mean, that is considerably lower than what I'm actually paying. What I'm actually paying also includes the taxes and insurance into the whole mortgage payment, that P.I.T.I. that I was mentioning earlier. So last thing I want to say about that is make sure that you're fully clear with the lender on how much you're actually paying per month. And I would highly recommend putting those taxes and insurance in the mortgage payment so that it's fully incorporated and you don't have to worry about it every month with something else that's separate. Because if you don't include it in your mortgage payment, include that taxes and insurance into your principal and interest, that means you have to pay the insurance and taxes separately and have to worry about automatic payments with those, and it's just a whole ordeal. So I would just highly recommend putting it all into one place so that the lender can pay the insurance and the taxes on your behalf. So before we go into the escrow account where we talk about taxes and insurance, I do want to bring up the valuable information of the interest rates versus how much you're paying in interest. So looking at this right here, we have a 3.125 interest rate. And for someone that's watching it in this day and age, January 2nd, 2023, interest rates are not at this value anymore. We're actually seeing interest rates around like 6 to 6.5%, especially for an owner-occupied loan. So with an owner-occupied loan, with this particular property, this is our second house hack. So we purchased this back in June of 2021, and interest rates were really low around then. So that's how we got that 3.125%. So interest payments of that 1,453 that I was mentioning earlier, that interest payment is directly tied to what your interest rate is. And all of this is very significant. With the interest rates going higher or lower, that just means your mortgage payment increases or decreases based on what the rate is going to be. All right, so wrapping everything up here, you have your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So with principal and interest, we'll start with principal, $1,013.81. Interest is $1,453.63. And escrow, which includes the taxes and insurance, we decided to lump it all together into one mortgage payment, is $619.92. The total payment for this home per month is $3,087.36. So every month I'm going to be paying that amount. And that amount, which is great for like a fixed rate 30-year mortgage, is not going to change except for these small fluctuations of, let's say, taxes increasing or insurance increasing. But for the most part, it's going to stay around that $3,100 per month. And what's great about that is with inflation and with the value of the dollar increasing or decreasing, your mortgage will stay the same no matter what, unless you refinance or get a second mortgage or something like that. So a lot of this is very beneficial with you knowing like, okay, I can set aside about $3,100 just for my mortgage payment per month on this property. So super beneficial going forward. So in this case specifically, you look at the escrow account of $619.92. So with that amount, it gets split up a certain amount. I'm not exactly sure, and they don't break down how much goes to taxes versus insurance, but the grand total amount for that month is going to be $619.92. So every month, a certain portion of your mortgage goes to building up those taxes and insurance reserves so that once you pay for the annual insurance amount, it will have accumulated enough so that your lender can pay your insurance over time every year, whether that's the fiscal year or whenever that is when you first started the policy or when you first bought the home. Now, looking at taxes, and I know for California and Colorado, it's biannually, which I believe means twice a year, which if you incorporate this amount into your mortgage payments, you don't have to worry about that so much. They already calculate how much you need to put into reserves to accumulate that tax amount so that every 6 months they can deplete that escrow account and pay off those property taxes for the 6 months. And so that incorporates like that escrow account. It builds up over time, and then the lender pays off the taxes and also the insurance as time goes on. So you don't have to worry about that. When you first purchase a property, you actually build up a little bit of cushion, I think for the first 1 or 2 months, depending on the lender you use and what kind of agreement you agree upon with the lender. They want a certain amount from closing costs to pay for that initial like month or two so that it's not completely depleted and you don't go under, because sometimes insurance increases, and also taxes can increase as well depending on what the assessed value is of the home. Taxes and insurance, those are going to be very specific to your qualifications, the property value, the land value, and also what your deductible is for the insurance. So hopefully this all makes sense. I mean, I wanted to give you guys an idea of what it's like to, work with a mortgage, what the anatomy of the mortgage statement looks like. And this is on my second house hack. I'm currently on my third house hack, which looks a little bit different, especially with the interest rates on my third house hack is around like 4.5%, almost 5%. And my mortgage, even though it's a lower price point, my mortgage on that third house hack is actually more than this property, which is like 720,000, but the interest rate is 3.125%. That's how significant an interest rate plays the role in this. So let me know what you guys think. If this is very beneficial going forward, let me know. I just want to make sure that people that want to get into real estate investing know what the mortgage looks like, and how to pick apart where your money is going. So there's a lot to it, and I feel like there's so much more I could talk about even without having this less than 10-minute video. But of course, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know what you think. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. So thanks so much and take care.